The auditorium erupts in cheers as we cross the stage one by one, black gowns swishing, tassels swinging. Around me, graduates clutch bouquets thrust into their arms by tearful mothers. Cameras flash like lightning as fathers shout names that aren't mine. I stand at the edge of the celebration, diploma pressed against my chest, phone burning in my other hand. I check it again, 14th time in the last hour. The group chat labeled Mom and Dad stares back at me. 3 messages sent over 2 weeks, each one a little more desperate than the last. MBA graduation is May 15th at 2 p.m. Hope you can make it. Sent April 30th. Read May 1st at 10:43 a.m. Reminder, graduation this Saturday. I have 2 guest tickets reserved. Sent May 13th. Read May 13th at 7:15 p.m. Ceremony starts in 3 hours. Let me know if you're coming. Sent today at 11 a.m. Read at 2:47 p.m. The ceremony started at 2. They read my message 47 minutes after I walked across that stage. After I heard my name echo through empty seats. After I smiled for the university photographer with no one standing beside me. "Excuse me, sweetheart." I look up. A photographer with kind eyes and a camera strap cutting across his chest approaches, gesturing toward the families clustering nearby. Behind him, a woman fixes her daughter's cap while her father holds 3 dozen roses. A little boy waves a congratulations banner. "Big day," the photographer says, his smile wide and genuine. "Want me to grab a shot with your family?" My throat tightens. I force my lips into something that might pass for a smile if he doesn't look too closely. "It's just me today." His expression shifts. Just slightly. Just enough. Sympathy pools in the corners of his eyes, the kind that makes this moment feel even more pathetic than it already is. "Well," he says, his voice softer now. "You look absolutely radiant. Congratulations, graduate." He moves on to a group of 6 people surrounding a young man in a matching gown. Their laughter follows me as I walk toward the parking lot, alone, clutching a diploma that represents 2 years of sacrifice, $60,000 in loans, and countless nights I chose studying over sleeping. My phone stays silent. This isn't the first time I've celebrated alone. But standing here, watching families pour out of the auditorium in waves of joy and pride, I realize something that makes my chest ache. I can't remember the last time it was different. I can't remember the last time they showed up. If this story moves you, or if you've ever felt invisible to the people who should celebrate you most, hit that like button and subscribe. You're not alone, and neither is Latonya. Let's walk this journey together. My apartment feels too quiet tonight. I prop the diploma against the wall near my bookshelf, next to the undergraduate degree from 6 years ago. 2 frames, 2 milestones, 0 family photos beside either one. I pour a glass of wine and sink into the couch, staring at those degrees like they might finally explain why I'm never enough. 6 years ago, I walked across a different stage in a different city. I'd sent the invitation 3 months in advance. Called twice to confirm. My parents RSVP'd. Yes. The morning of my undergraduate graduation, my mother called. "Honey, we can't make it. Kelly's having her gallery opening tonight. You know, for her art phase. She's so nervous, she needs us there." Kelly's art phase lasted 3 months. My degree took 4 years. I called my mother that evening, after the ceremony, after I'd smiled through the loneliness and pretended it didn't gut me. "Oh, honey," she said, her voice distracted, music and laughter in the background. "Was that today?" 4 years ago, I opened my first retail location. A small boutique in a strip mall, nothing fancy, but it was mine. I'd designed every detail, secured the lease, built the inventory from the ground up. I invited my parents to the ribbon cutting. Local press would be there. The mayor's office sent someone. My father texted 2 hours before. "Can't make it. Kelly needs help moving. You understand?" It was Kelly's 4th apartment that year. My parents paid every security deposit. I stood outside that boutique with oversized scissors, surrounded by strangers and one journalist from the community paper. I smiled wide for the camera, cut the ribbon, shook hands, gave an interview about entrepreneurship and determination. Then I locked myself in the stockroom and cried until my mascara ran black rivers down my cheeks. 2 years ago, I turned 30. Milestone birthday. I reserved a table at Marcella's, the upscale Italian place downtown with the candlelit ambiance and handmade pasta. Texted the family group chat for 2 weeks straight. Dinner at Marcella's for my birthday. Saturday at 7. Please come. Reminder, birthday dinner this Saturday. Would love to see you all. Last reminder, birthday dinner tomorrow night. Tables reserved under my name. Saturday at 6:45 p.m., my mother texted, "So sorry, sweetheart. We're exhausted. Maybe next week?" I sat alone at a table set for 4. Ate tiramisu while a waiter with a sympathetic smile sang happy birthday in broken Italian. Left a generous tip because I didn't want him to remember me as the sad woman who celebrated alone. 3 days later, Kelly posted photos on Facebook. She was at a spa resort 2 hours north, face mask on, champagne in hand. My parents were in the background of one photo, robes and slippers, grinning. The caption, "Best parents ever. Thanks for this surprise weekend to help me de-stress." So needed. 18 months ago, the pain started at 2 a.m. Sharp, stabbing. I couldn't stand up straight. By 4 a.m., I was in the emergency room, alone, texting the family group chat with shaking hands. In the ER, think it's appendicitis. Scared. My mother responded 6 hours later, after I'd already been through surgery, after they'd removed the infection before it ruptured, after I'd woken up groggy and alone in a recovery room that smelled like antiseptic and abandonment. "Kelly has a headache today, can barely get out of bed. Hope you feel better soon." My neighbor Jane, a woman I'd known for 8 months, drove me home, stayed with me for 2 days, brought soup, changed my bandages, held my hand when the pain meds wore off, and I cried not from physical pain, but from the kind that doesn't show up on medical charts. I pull up my banking app now, scrolling through years of transactions I've tried to forget. Kelly's security deposit when she moved into that loft she couldn't afford, $2,500. Her car insurance for 6 months when she was between jobs, $1,800. The business loan she swore she'd repay, $5,000. I never saw a cent back. Total documented support to Kelly over 10 years, $23,400. When I asked my parents to co-sign my first business loan, just a signature, no money out of pocket. My father said, "We can't risk our retirement on your experiment, sweetheart." I got the loan anyway. Alone. I built the business anyway. Alone. I'm staring at my phone now, at that group chat, at those red receipts that confirm they saw my messages and chose silence. My mother's voice echoes from 4 years ago. That phone call after they missed my ribbon cutting. "Latonya, you're always so independent. You don't need us there. Kelly, though, she needs our support right now." I remember what I said, my voice small and breaking. "I need you too, Mom. I've always needed you." "Don't be dramatic. You're doing fine on your own." I set down my wine glass. Look at those 2 diplomas on the wall, at the business awards on the shelf beside them, at the life I've built with no foundation, no safety net, no one cheering from the sidelines. I'm done waiting to be seen. I'm on my balcony when the knock comes, wine glass in hand, city lights blurring through tears. I've finally stopped fighting. "Latonya?" Jane's voice, soft through the door. "You home, honey?" I wipe my face and open the door. Jane stands there in her floral cardigan, silver hair pulled back, holding a bouquet of sunflowers and a small card. She's 60-something, warm in the way mothers are supposed to be, and she's lived next door for 2 years. 2 years of watching me celebrate alone. "I saw you leave this morning in your cap and gown," she says, stepping inside without waiting for invitation. "Figured you'd be back by now." She hands me the flowers, I take them, hands trembling, and open the card. Congratulations, Dr. Latonya. You did this alone, and that makes it even more extraordinary. Something breaks open in my chest. I sink onto the couch, and the tears come in waves I can't control. Jane sits beside me, pulls me into her arms, and lets me sob into her shoulder like I'm 6 years old instead of 28. I know, baby, she whispers. I know. When I finally catch my breath, she's still holding me. How many times are you going to break your own heart waiting for them to show up? She asks gently. I pull back, wiping my face with the heel of my hand. I keep thinking if I achieve enough, if I become enough, they'll finally see me. Jane cups my face in her hands, forces me to meet her eyes. Baby, you've been enough since the day you were born. They're the ones who aren't enough for you. The words hit like permission I didn't know I needed. I had a family like yours, Jane continues, settling back against the couch. 3 kids, and I was the one who had it together. So they never called unless they needed money. Never visited unless they wanted something. I spent 40 years waiting for them to be proud of me. She pauses, her voice thick. Don't waste 40 years, honey. Be proud of yourself now. I look at my diploma propped against the wall, at the life I've built with no applause, no witnesses, no one to tell me I mattered. I think I'm done waiting, I whisper. Jane squeezes my hand, her grip firm and sure. Good. Her smile is fierce. Now go build something so magnificent they can't ignore it. And when they finally notice, you get to decide if they deserve access. I nod, something shifting deep in my bones. Not anger yet. Not revenge. Just clarity. For the first time in my life, I'm enough, and I don't need them to confirm it. 3 years later, I wake up in a loft that overlooks the city like a promise kept. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the skyline. Morning light pours across hardwood floors, across walls decorated with framed magazine covers that still feel surreal. Forbes, 30. Under 30. Essence, Black Women in Business. Vogue Business, Sustainable Fashion. Pioneer's My Company, Threadline, is valued at $45 million. I employ 87 people. We've disrupted the sustainable fashion industry with ethical supply chains and designs that don't compromise style for conscience. I'm wearing one of our pieces now. A tailored blazer in midnight blue, elegant and powerful, the kind of armor that announces you've arrived. I built this, alone. Well, not entirely alone. The journalist sitting across from me at my dining table adjusts her recorder, smiles warmly. She's writing a profile for a business publication, the kind of feature that makes investors pay attention and competitors nervous. So, Latonya, she says, pen poised, who supported you in the early days? Every founder has that person who believed in them when no one else did. I pause, coffee cup halfway to my lips. I think of Jane bringing me flowers on graduation night. Of Sylvia, my business mentor, who took calls at midnight when I thought I'd lose everything. Of the small circle of friends who showed up consistently without being asked. I learned that family isn't always blood, I say carefully. I built this with people who chose to believe in me. People who showed up not because they had to, but because they wanted to. She scribbles notes, nods. That's beautiful. And your biological family? Were they part of the journey? No, I say simply. Not a single family investment or connection. This is mine. The pride in my voice surprises even me. My phone buzzes on the table. The screen lights up. Mom. I stare at it. 1 ring. 2. 3. The journalist glances at the phone, then at me. Do you need to take that? I pick it up on the 4th ring. Hello? Latonya, sweetheart. My mother's voice pours through the speaker, honey-sweet and unfamiliar in its warmth. I haven't heard this tone in years, maybe ever. I saw your interview online, the video one from last month. You looked absolutely stunning. We're so proud of you. I glance at my call log. 8 months since we last spoke. That's interesting, Mom, I say, my voice carefully neutral. You didn't respond when I told you about the Forbes feature 8 months ago? Silence. Then a nervous laugh. Oh, you know how busy we've been with Kelly's situation? She's been going through such a hard time and, well, you know how it is. I do know. I've always known. Anyway, she continues, her voice brightening with forced cheer. We should celebrate. Family dinner this weekend? Your father and I would love to see you. It's been too long. The journalist is pretending not to listen, but I see her eyes flicker with interest. I'll have to check my schedule, I say. Of course, you're so important now. She laughs again, that same nervous sound. Then her tone shifts, drops into something more serious. Actually, sweetheart, we need to talk about something important. A family matter. Can we meet this weekend? It's about your father's retirement and Kelly's future. My stomach tightens. We're hoping you can help. There it is. The real reason for the call. The warmth, the pride, the sudden interest. It all makes sense now. They don't want to celebrate me. They want something from me. I'll call you back. Mom, I say quietly. I end the call before she can respond. The journalist looks up, sympathy in her eyes. She's heard enough to understand. Family, I say with a tight smile, is complicated. She nods, clicks off the recorder. For what it's worth, you've built something extraordinary, with or without them. I look out at the city, at the empire I built from nothing, and wonder what they could possibly want that's worth breaking 3 years of silence. But deep down, I already know. Drop a comment if you already know where this is going. Have you ever had family suddenly reappear when you became successful? Let's talk about it below. The house smells like my childhood. Garlic, butter, my mother's famous pot roast. I haven't been here in over a year, and standing in the doorway feels like stepping into a museum of a life I've outgrown. Latonya. My mother, Sylvia, rushes forward with open arms, pulling me into a hug that feels rehearsed. Come in. I made all your favorites. The dining room table is set like a holiday. Candles, cloth napkins, the good china. I notice the photos on the walls as I walk through. Kelly's art show, Kelly's college graduation, Kelly at the beach, Kelly laughing with our parents at some restaurant I was never invited to. There's one photo of me tucked in the corner near the hallway. High school graduation, my smile awkward and young. One photo in 18 years. My father, Herbert, stands from his armchair, grinning wide. There's our CEO. Come here, let me look at you. He hugs me, claps my shoulder like we're old friends. Tell me about the business. 45 million, I heard? That's incredible, sweetheart. Just incredible. He's never asked about my business before. Kelly sits at the table, quiet, picking at her napkin. She won't meet my eyes. We eat. They ask questions about revenue, about investors, about my plans for expansion. Herbert leans forward with every answer, nodding like he's always been interested. Sylvia refills my wine glass twice. It feels like an interview. Dessert comes. Peach cobbler, still warm. And Herbert clears his throat. So, Latonya, there's something we wanted to discuss with you. He exchanges a glance with Sylvia. I'm retiring next year. We're trying to secure the family's future, make sure everyone's taken care of. I set down my fork. Kelly's been working on a business idea, he continues. Fashion consulting. With your success in the industry, we thought it'd be perfect for her. She just needs some startup capital to get going. Kelly finally looks up. $50,000, she says quietly, for startup costs. And maybe $3,000 a month for the first year while I build the client base. I stare at her. Fashion consulting. My industry. The one they never cared about when I was building Threadline from nothing. Keep it in the family, Herbert says, smiling. Help your sister the way we helped you growing up. The way they helped me. I open my mouth to respond, but Sylvia stands abruptly, walks to the sideboard, and returns with a folder. She places it in front of me, her expression suddenly serious. "We knew you might need some context," she says. I open it. Inside is a spreadsheet, itemized, color-coded. Every birthday gift from age 1 to 18, every Christmas present, school supplies, family vacations, doctor's visits, groceries allocated to me. At the bottom, in bold, total investment $68,300. My hands start shaking. "We invested in you for 18 years, sweetheart," Sylvia says, her voice soft, reasonable. "Now that you're successful, we think it's fair you help us recoup some of that investment. It's only right." I look up at her, my voice barely a whisper. You're invoicing me for my childhood?" "Don't be dramatic," she says, waving a hand. "Family takes care of family. We took care of you. Now it's your turn." Kelly leans forward, her voice gaining strength. "I've been struggling while you've been thriving, Latonya. Don't you think families should lift each other up?" Herbert nods, his tone turning grave. "We sacrificed a lot raising you girls. Your mother gave up her career. We're not asking for charity. We're asking you to honor your family." The room spins. I flip through the folder again. Kelly's business proposal. $50,000 startup, $3,000 per month. Herbert's retirement shortfall. $120,000 to maintain lifestyle. Total ask. $238,300. "You didn't come to my graduation," I say, my voice shaking. "Either of them. You didn't visit me in the hospital when I had surgery. You didn't return my calls for 8 months. I look at each of them. But now you want $238,000? Herbert's expression hardens. "We're not asking you to give us money, Latonya. We're asking you to repay what we invested in you. That's fair, isn't it?" "Fair?" I stand, the chair scraping loud against the floor. "You want to talk about fair? So you're saying no to your own family?" Herbert's voice is cold now, the warmth from earlier completely gone. I look at the folder, at the spreadsheet that reduces my childhood to line items and dollar signs, at my mother's expectant face, at Kelly's resentful eyes, at my father's disappointment. "I need to think about this," I say quietly. I grab my purse and walk toward the door. Behind me, I hear Sylvia's voice, tight with frustration. We should have known she'd be difficult about this. I'm almost to my car when I hear Kelly through the open window, her voice carrying across the lawn. "I told you she'd be selfish about it." I sit in my car, hands gripping the steering wheel, and realize the truth I've been avoiding for years. They never wanted a daughter. They wanted an investment. I drive home in silence, their words echoing in my head like accusations. Selfish, difficult, ungrateful. By the time I reach my loft, fury has replaced heartbreak. I call Sylvia, not my mother, but my business mentor, the woman who taught me how to negotiate, how to stand firm, how to know my worth. "They invoiced you?" Her voice is sharp with disbelief. "For your childhood?" $68,300, I say, my voice hollow. "Itemized." Silence. Then, "If they want to play the numbers game, let's show them what the numbers really say." "I don't want to hurt them," I whisper. "I just want them to see me." "Baby, they've been hurting you for a decade. This isn't about revenge. It's about truth. And sometimes truth is the kindest thing you can offer." I hang up and open my laptop. If they want spreadsheets, I'll give them spreadsheets. I start with my bank statements, scrolling back 10 years. Each transaction is a memory that cuts. Kelly's security deposit when she moved into that loft downtown, $2,500. Her car insurance, 6 months when she was figuring things out, $1,800. The business loan she swore she'd repay within a year, $5,000. I never saw a cent. Kelly's car repair after she rear-ended someone, $2,200. Her credit card payment when she maxed out buying furniture, $1,900. Emergency rent, 3 separate times, $4,000 total. Groceries, Uber rides, vet bills for a dog she gave away 2 months later. I document everything. Dates, amounts, purposes. Total financial support to Kelly over 10 years, $23,400. I create a second tab. Milestones missed. Undergraduate graduation, MBA graduation, first business launch, 30th birthday dinner, hospital emergency, appendicitis, company's first million in revenue, Forbes feature, promotion to CEO, first major investor meeting. I keep going, pulling from old calendar entries, from texts I never deleted, from memories burned into my bones. Every invitation ignored, every achievement met with silence, total events missed. 23 over 10 years. Then I create a third tab. Kelly's events attended. I pull from Facebook, from old family group chats, from photos I've seen but was never in. Gallery openings for art phases that lasted weeks. Apartment move-ins, 4 of them. Brunches, spa trips. Mental health days at expensive resorts. Birthday dinners at restaurants I couldn't afford when I was her age. I count them all. Total events attended for Kelly, 47 over the same 10 years. The ratio stares back at me. 2-1 favoritism. I sit back, staring at the screen. 3 tabs. 10 years of proof. The pattern I've always felt but never quantified, now undeniable in black and white. It's 2:47 a.m. when I attach the spreadsheet to the family group chat. My hands hover over the keyboard. I could write paragraphs. I could explain the pain behind every line item, every missed event, every time I needed them and they chose Kelly instead. But they gave me an itemized invoice, so I'll give them one back. I type, "You asked me to honor the family investment. Here's mine. I calculate you owe me approximately $23,400 in financial support to Kelly, plus 10 years of presents I can't put a price on. I'm willing to call it even if we start fresh. With boundaries." I hit send before I can second-guess myself. The message delivers. 3 gray check marks appear almost immediately. Read receipts lighting up one by one. Mom, Dad, Kelly. They're awake. They're reading it right now. I close my laptop and walk to the window, looking out at the city I've conquered without them. My reflection stares back. Tired, but not broken. Angry, but not destroyed. For the first time in my life, I've said the truth out loud. And I'm not taking it back. My phone buzzes. I glance at the screen. Mom. We need to talk about this. I turn off my phone and go to bed. They can wait. I've been waiting for 10 years. 1 week of silence, no calls, no texts. I've almost convinced myself they've accepted my terms when Walter buzzes my office line. Ms. Latonya? His voice is uncertain. Your family is here in reception. They have a cake and say it's a surprise celebration. My stomach drops. I stand, look through the glass wall of my office. Down in the lobby, I see them. My mother holding a white bakery box, my father in his best suit, Kelly standing slightly behind them looking uncomfortable. My team is watching. Heads turning, whispers starting. Send them to conference room B. I say quietly. I'll be right there. I walk through the office with my spine straight, feeling every eye on me. Through the glass walls of the conference room, I see my mother arranging the cake on the table like we're about to have a party. I close the door behind me. Don't sit. Latonya. Sylvia's smile is bright, performative. We wanted to surprise you at work. Show everyone how proud we are of you. Herbert steps forward, arms open for a hug I don't return. That spreadsheet was hurtful, Latonya, but we're here to move past it. Family forgives. Kelly stays silent, picking at her nails, won't meet my eyes. This is my workplace, I say, my voice calm and cold. Not a family reunion venue. You don't get to show up unannounced and perform reconciliation for an audience. Sylvia's smile falters. We're trying to make things right. Making things right starts with respecting my boundaries. I cross my arms. I sent you terms for moving forward 3 days ago. You responded by ambushing me at work. We thought a gesture. Herbert starts. A gesture would have been showing up to my MBA graduation. I interrupt. A gesture would have been visiting me in the hospital. This isn't a gesture, this is a performance. Through the glass, I see Walter watching, along with half my executive team. I don't care anymore. We raised you better than this, Latonya. Sylvia's voice sharpens. This coldness, this cruelty. I'm not being cruel, I say calmly. I'm being clear. There's a difference. Herbert's expression hardens, the warmth completely gone now. After everything we've done for you, this is how you treat us? So you're choosing your pride over your family? I meet his eyes and something inside me finally breaks free. I'm choosing my peace over your guilt trips. You didn't do things for me, Dad. You did the bare minimum required of parents, and now you want me to pay interest on it. My voice doesn't shake. That's not love. That's a transaction. And I'm not for sale. The silence is deafening. Kelly finally speaks, her voice small. You've changed. I turn to her. No, I've just stopped pretending your absence doesn't hurt. If you want a relationship with me, I continue, looking at each of them, it will be on terms of mutual respect. Not transactions, not performances, not surprise visits to my workplace with cake and cameras. Respect. Sylvia picks up her purse, her hands shaking. Let's go, Herbert. Clearly we're not welcome here. You're welcome, I say quietly. When you make an appointment, when you respect my boundaries, when you treat me like a daughter instead of an ATM. They leave without the cake. I watch them walk through the lobby, past my employees, out the glass doors into the parking lot. Through the window, I see Walter give me a subtle thumbs up. My phone buzzes. A text from my mentor, Sylvia. Proud of you. But I'm alone in the conference room now, staring at the abandoned cake with its cheerful frosting and hollow gesture. And I let myself cry. Not because I regret what I said, but because I finally said it. Have you ever had to set a boundary that made you look like the bad guy? How did you handle it? Share your story below. This community sees you. The post appears 2 days later. Kelly's Instagram, 10,000 followers, a photo of her looking wistfully out a window. It's heartbreaking when success changes people. When the sister you supported for years suddenly acts like you never existed, praying for her heart to soften. Family. First, heartbroken. 2,847 likes. 316 comments. Family should come first. Money changes people. Stay strong, girl. I stare at my phone, nauseous. The sister she supported? Walter calls an hour later. Your father contacted me. Said he's concerned about your stability, about family troubles affecting your judgment. His voice is tight. I told him it was inappropriate, but I thought you should know. Thank you, I whisper. My aunt calls that evening. Latonya, your mother is devastated. She's telling everyone you demanded they pay you back for being your parents. That can't be true, can it? I close my eyes. That's not what happened. Then what did happen? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Ms. Latonya, this is Marcus Chen from Business Insider. We're running a story about family dynamics in Black entrepreneurship. Your family reached out with some concerning allegations about financial disputes and estrangement. He pauses. Would you like to comment? My hands start shaking. They're not just rewriting our story, they're trying to destroy me. I call my mentor Sylvia within the hour. Then my lawyer. They're trying to destroy my reputation, I say, my voice shaking. Kelly's post is everywhere. My father called my board member. A reporter wants a statement. Breathe, Sylvia says. Don't wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, but the pig likes it. Send facts to people who matter, silence to people who don't. What if they don't believe me? What if this ruins everything I've built? Baby, You built a $45 million company while they weren't watching. You'll survive them trying to tear it down. But they won't survive the truth. Her voice softens. Your character is your defense. Anyone who matters will see the truth. I spend the next 2 hours drafting an email. Subject: clarification on recent family contact. Dear board and key investors, my family is experiencing financial stress and has made some unfortunate choices in how they've sought support. This does not affect Threadline's operations. I'm handling it privately and professionally. Attached for context: documentation of requests made, boundaries communicated, and timeline of events. Best, Latonya. I attach my spreadsheet. The boundary email I sent. Security footage timestamp of the office ambush. I hit send. To the reporter, I craft a different response. I love my family, and I'm navigating a private family matter with boundaries and respect. I won't be discussing details publicly, but I'm happy to share Threadline's Q3 numbers if you'd like to write about the business instead. Then I wait. The consequences unfold faster than I expected. Kelly's Instagram post starts getting different comments. Mutual acquaintances who remember, wait, didn't Latonya pay your rent for like 6 months? And this feels one-sided. What's the full story? Walter texts. Your father's call made him look unstable, not you. Board is fully supportive. The reporter publishes a piece 3 days later. Threadline CEO navigates family pressure with grace. A lesson in professional boundaries. It's glowing. It positions me as dignified, not defensive. Extended family starts asking questions. My aunt calls my mother, and apparently the story doesn't add up. My phone buzzes. A text from my aunt. I talked to your mother. Her story has holes. I'm sorry I didn't ask you first. Can we talk? I stare at the message, something loosening in my chest. The truth is speaking for itself, and it's louder than their lies. 2 weeks later, the storm has passed. Kelly deleted her post. The reporter's article positioned me as the professional, the dignified one. My board sent a supportive memo, but I'm not done yet. Jane and my mentor Sylvia sit at my dining table, helping me draft an email I should have written years ago. What would a relationship look like? Jane asked gently. Where you don't spend the next day recovering. I pause, coffee cup halfway to my lips. I've never asked myself that question. One where I'm not anxious, I say slowly. Where I'm not waiting for the ask. Where they show up because they want to. Not because they need something. Sylvia nods. Write that down. We spend 2 hours crafting the terms. No unannounced visits, home or work. No financial requests or business opportunities. Scheduled calls, visits only. Monthly, 90 minutes maximum. No discussing my finances or business decisions. Mutual respect required. Violations result in 3-month pause in contact. Therapy, family or individual, welcomed but not required. I read it aloud. It sounds firm, clear, not cruel. Just honest. What if they say no? Jane asks quietly. What if they choose not to have a relationship on these terms? I'm silent for a long moment, staring at the document that represents everything I've never been brave enough to ask for. Then I'll be sad, I say finally. But I'll also be free. And I think freedom might be worth the sadness. Sylvia reaches across the table, squeezes my hand. That's the most powerful thing I've ever heard you say. I open my email, type the subject line. Moving forward with love and boundaries. The body is warm, but firm. I explain each term, why it matters, what I'm hoping to build. I end with, I want a relationship with you, but not at the cost of my peace. These terms aren't punishment. They're the foundation for something healthier than what we've had. I hope you'll choose to build that with me. I hit send at 7:32 on a Sunday evening. Then I close my laptop. Dinner? Jane asks. Absolutely. We go to a small Italian place downtown. I order pasta, drink wine, laugh at Jane's stories about her book club drama. My phone stays in my purse. I don't check for responses. Because I've already won. I've chosen myself. And whether they accept my terms or not, I'm finally free. 6 weeks of silence after I sent the terms. Then, 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, my mother replies, "We've read your email multiple times. Some of your requests feel extreme, but we're willing to try. Can we see you for Thanksgiving?" I respond with conditions: 3-hour limit, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Jane comes as support. No business or money talk. My mother agrees. The day arrives cold and clear. Jane and I pull up at exactly 2 p.m. My father opens the door, awkward but trying. "Welcome," he says, looking at both of us. "Both of you." It's the first time he's acknowledged Jane's importance. Small but significant. Inside, the house smells like turkey and stuffing. Kelly sits on the couch, quieter than usual, offering a small wave. My mother emerges from the kitchen, wiping her hands on her apron. "Latonya." She smiles, tentative. "I made your favorites. Well, I think they're still your favorites. Is this still what you like?" It's been a while since I asked. My eyes water unexpectedly. "Yes, Mom. Thank you for asking." Dinner is stilted at first. We talk about safe topics. Weather, Jane's book club, Kelly's new job at a marketing firm. The turkey is dry, but I don't say so. My mother keeps glancing at me like she's afraid I'll disappear. Halfway through dessert, my father clears his throat. "So, Latonya, I heard about an investment opportunity that might interest—" "Dad," I interrupt gently. "Remember our boundary about business talk?" He stops mid-sentence, frustration flickering across his face. But then he nods. "Right. Sorry." Kelly's eyes widen, surprised. My mother quickly changes the subject to a documentary she watched. Boundary held. After dinner, my mother pulls me aside into the hallway, away from the others. "I read your email 17 times, she says quietly. "I was angry at first. Then I was sad. Then I realized—" Her voice cracks. "I don't actually know you anymore. I don't know what you like, what scares you, what makes you happy. I'd like to learn, if you'll let me." My throat tightens. "I'd like that too, Mom." She reaches for my hand, squeezes it. "I'm trying, Latonya. This is hard for me." "It's hard for me too, Mom, but hard doesn't mean impossible." At 5 p.m., 3 hours exactly, Jane and I gather our coats. My father looks like he wants to ask us to stay longer, but he doesn't. "Same time next month?" he asks instead. Hands in his pockets. I smile, genuine this time. "I'll check my calendar and let you know, but probably yes." As we reach the door, Kelly stands from the couch. "Latonya," she says quietly, "I'm sorry. For the post. For a lot of things." I turn back, meet her eyes. "I appreciate that, Kelly. Maybe we can talk more next time." My father walks us to the car. At the door, he pauses. "You've built something impressive," he says, his voice rough. "I should have said that years ago." "Thank you, Dad." My voice is soft. "That means more than you know." Jane and I drive home in comfortable silence. When we pull into our building's parking lot, she looks at me. "How do you feel?" I think about it. The awkwardness. The boundary I had to enforce. My mother's confession. Kelly's apology. My father's acknowledgement. "Hopeful," I say finally. It's not perfect, but it's real. And for the first time in years, real feels like enough. 1 year later, my loft is full of laughter. Candles flicker on a cake surrounded by people who chose to be here. Jane tells embarrassing stories about the time I locked myself out at 3 a.m. My team from Threadline raises glasses. My mentor, Sylvia, the business one, argues playfully with Walter about quarterly projections. At 7 p.m., the doorbell rings. My parents and Kelly arrive exactly on time. Text confirmation sent this morning. "On our way, see you at 7. My mother holds a wrapped gift. "We found this in the attic." she says, handing it to me. I unwrap it carefully. It's a framed photo. Me at 6 years old, standing behind a lemonade stand, gap-toothed grin, handmade sign that says, Latonya's Lemonade, 25C. You were always a businesswoman, my mother says softly. We should have seen it sooner. My father adds, his voice thick. We're sorry we missed so much. We're here now if you'll have us. I'd like that, Mom. Dad. I introduce them to my chosen family. Kelly talks to Jane about the therapy she started. My father asks genuine questions about Threadline. No opportunities, just curiosity. My mother helps cut the cake. A young woman approaches me nervously. Ms. Latonya? I'm Tasha. My family wants me to give up my business. They say I'm being selfish. How did you choose yourself? I take her hands. You don't have to choose between loving them and loving yourself. But you do have to choose yourself first. The right people will still be there when you do. Later, I step onto the balcony. Jane joins me. How does it feel? She asks. Through the window, I watch my mother laughing with my mentor, my father listening to my CFO, Kelly genuinely smiling. It feels like I finally have a family, I say. Not the one I was born into, the one I built. And maybe, slowly, the one I was born into is learning to be part of it. Inside, everyone gathers around the cake. They sing happy birthday. This time, I don't check my phone. I don't wonder who's missing. I'm fully present. I close my eyes to make a wish, then open them. Actually, I say, smiling at the faces surrounding me, I don't need to wish for anything. I already have everything I need.